Hello folks, this is Keane. I didn't know if I wanted to make a video about this because this is really, really fucked up. It's just totally fucking out there. Some guy named Contrast is posting records of me all over. The guy's putting records up of my past. And he's trying, I guess it's obviously to try to destroy my character and my reputation as a human being and stuff on YouTube. I don't know what the hell it is, because YouTube is a place where people just make videos and try to have fun and all that shit. So I'm going to have to talk about some personal things and shit that are very upsetting in my life, because there's probably going to be assholes out there, fuckhead atheists out there, who are going to be making videos about this. So I figured before it excels and turns into a huge ass ball of flame flying my way, I figured I'd deal with it right away. Okay. Obviously he went to some kind of public records thing and copied and pasted the information that was on there to paste on these different websites. They're basically abuse charges. One that is towards Cindy Keane and one that is towards my wife, Dawn Keane. I've only been married once. Cindy Keane is actually the name of my mother, who is dead. Okay. When I was 18 years old, and you'll see the dates on the charges that you see on there, you'll be able to see all this for yourself and be able to put up the numbers and all that. I'm going to go ahead and express this. This is so fucking dumb. When I was 18 years old, my mother, as you all know, was sick. Now for the second charge that he has publicly posted, the one with me and my wife. As you all know in my videos, I told you guys that my daughter is disabled. She has hydrocephalus. She was born with meningitis, and it caused her to have water on the brain, and she has this condition that she has to live with for the rest of her life, a shunt in her head. My wife and I had to spend over a year in a children's hospital, Cardinal Glennon St. Louis Children's Hospital. And I don't know if any of you have ever seen a sick child before or been in that kind of situation, but it's very stressful. It's very painful to go through that situation. So my wife and I thought that our daughter was going to die. And my wife and I, we started breaking down basically and becoming depressed because of the situation. It was hurting our marriage. We weren't able to spend time with our son because we were constantly dealing with our daughter in hospital. So we separated. We separated because she couldn't look at me anymore. When she looked at my daughter, she said that she seen me and she just couldn't be around me. Everybody was blaming everybody for the reason why my daughter got sick at that point, and it caused a lot of problems. I continued to aggravate my wife, basically annoy her, and keep saying I love her. And I kept trying to get her to come back to me, and I said, I kept telling her, our daughter is going to be okay. But she wouldn't listen. She was so depressed, and so was I, because we thought she was going to die. Hello folks, this is Keane, and this video is about an accusation video made against me and my wife. Well, what happened is that some people, some family members that don't normally hang out with us and all that, her stepmother, and she's got a father, don't normally visit with us, don't normally hang out with us, but because of the situation and the danger of the situation of our daughter and the possibility that we could lose her, the stepmother of Dawn started showing up at the hospital, and she's a nurse. Works in a completely different area, not this children's hospital called Cardinal Glennon. So what happened is that the stepmother has always been mean and nasty and terrible, total shit disturber. Now this woman started getting involved in Dawn's life again, and she promised Dawn, she said, Dawn, your daughter's in a really, really bad way, and she's going to be needing to be monitored the whole 9 yards, and what we need to do, her plan was to take Dawn out to her own home way out on a fucking farm. So what happened is that Dawn made a deal with this woman that she would go out. So this lady, being an experienced nurse, could watch over our daughter and help. The problem is that the woman didn't really want me involved, even though I'm the father. I'm the father of Angelica and Daniel, and she didn't want me around. So what she did was she asked for Dawn to call me and tell me not to come around. And now Dawn didn't understand that whole situation, but Dawn had to make a choice. She either gets into a big explanation with me about the situation, or it's fucked up. It's a ridiculous situation, but the lady didn't want anybody else around. And Dawn told me that that was the case. This is the situation. And I was grieving and I was upset already because of my daughter, and I wanted to see her, and I wanted to help Dawn be able to help our daughter get back healthy again, or at least try to do the best I can to stabilize her. Well, the woman, the situation kept getting worse with our daughter, so I was very emotional. I was a wreck because of what our daughter was going through, and I wanted to be a part of the situation as any good father would want to. Well, the lady told my wife to try to get some kind of restraining order to keep me away from her country home. And my wife did not want to do that. She didn't want to get into all that situation. But the stepmother went ahead and, sorry, we got somebody weeding in our grass. The stepmother went ahead and tried to get a restraining order against me to keep me away from her house. She just wanted to keep Dawn and Angelica there so she could do the monitoring. She just wanted to deal with the nursing part of the situation. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's a retarded situation. The stepmother helped in getting a restraining order against me because she simply wanted to keep me away from her home up in the countryside. So I guess I'm going to let Dawn explain what the woman told her to do in order to get the restraining order. And a lot of you, it won't make sense to. Maybe some of you have had to deal with this kind of shit in your life. I don't know, but here you go.
Basically, she said, I can't get, she said this to me, she said, I can't get a restraining order, I don't want to be in my house. She just said,
You have to speak up so they can hear
she
you.
just, she likes what she wants to like, she's the kind that likes to stick her nose in sometimes where it doesn't belong, and is very opinionated. So, she said, I can't get a restraining order, but you can. I said, well, I don't really want to get a restraining order. And through this time, you know, I got in contact with Brett, and she says, well, this is what you have to say. And basically, it was, she said, you have to say that he beat you, she does this, does that. And then she said, and then we have to throw in that we don't want him near the house within so many yards or whatever. And so in order for her to help me, that's what I had to do. And mind you, when I was at the hospital and monitoring our daughter, I had a whole bunch of nurses, you know, because they work on shifts at the hospital helping me. At home, here at our house, you know, I wouldn't have had that. It would have been Brett and I, and like I said, we had a son too. And so it would have been real difficult. That and keeping up, you know, house cleaning and, you know, grocery shopping and school and whatever. So when I went to her place and I went to their place, basically my only duties were to help keep watch on her daughter, and then whenever I was relieved, she watched over her.
So she ended up basically doing what my mother did in the fucked up situation that I was in whenever I was younger. She told her stepmother and father that she didn't want to have nothing to do with me anymore because the doctors told us that they don't know if our daughter's going to make it. So she, in order to keep me away from trying to get her back and save the marriage, she filed out a restraining order without thinking.
That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah. So that's the ordeal. There wasn't all this bullshit that this guy is trying to put out on his videos. So, you know, you can believe whatever the hell you want. There's absolutely no information or description of why it is that these charges get put out or anything. They just simply say restraining order and stalker situation, blah, blah, blah. But that's it. That's the situation, and this has been explained in the past. So, that's the deal. If you guys want to drag my children and my wife and myself through the mud, this video is about an accusation video made against me and my wife, against me and my wife, against me and my wife.